Hello dear friends, the topic of our today's lesson is past perfect. But first of all, let's make acquaintances with the words that we need during our lesson. The first word is a dinner, обед, a family, семья, money, деньги, to buy, покупать, to lose, терять, to think, думать, to wake up, вставать. Now let's return to the topic of our lesson, past perfect. What does past perfect mean? Past perfect denotes a complete action which has happened before a definite moment in the past. If you want to make a scheme of this tense, it will look like this. Pay your attention. You see a cross. This is our past event. And you see a circle. This is event which happened before the main event in the past. So this circle denotes past perfect, a completed action which happened before a definite moment in the past. By the way, there exist some words which we usually use with this grammatical tense. So, here they are. By 5 o'clock yesterday, before he came, by the end of last year. How do you form past perfect? So, there exist 4 types of sentences. A narrative one, a negative, general question, question without a question word, and special question, question with a question word. But first of all, I want to remind you that all English verbs are subdivided into 2 groups, regular and irregular. Regular verbs add ed ending in the past tenses. Irregular verbs make up the list of irregular verbs. So, how do we make a narrative sentence? In order to make a narrative sentence, on the first position you have to put your noun or pronoun. On the second position you have to put had. And on the last position you have to put past participle. Past participle, this is the verb, your main verb, with ed ending if it is a regular one, or the third column of irregular verbs if it is irregular verb. For example, I had watched TV before he came. They had done their home task by 5 o'clock yesterday. The verb to watch is a regular one, that's why we add ed ending to it. To do is irregular verb, that's why we take the third form in the list of irregular verbs. How do we make a negative sentence? In order to make a negative sentence, on the first position you have to put noun or pronoun. On the second position you have to put had. Then you have to put not, because this is a negative sentence. And then you have to put your past participle. Again, if you have a regular verb, you put ed ending to it. If it is irregular, you have to look at the third column in the list of irregular verbs. For example, I had not watched TV before he came. They had not done their home task by 5 o'clock yesterday. How do you form a general question? In order to make a general question, on the first position you have to put had. On the second position you put your noun or pronoun. And on the last position you have to put past participle. Again, if you have a regular verb, you put ed ending to it. If you have irregular, you have to look at the third column in the list of irregular verbs. For example, Had you watched TV before he came yesterday? Had they done their home task by 5 o'clock yesterday? How do you form a special question? In order to make a special question, we have on the first position to put our question word. On the second position, we have to put had. Then we have to put our noun or pronoun. And after that, we put past participle. Again, if you have a regular verb, you have to add ed ending to it. If it is irregular one, you have to look at the list of irregular verbs in the third column. For example, what had you watched before he came? What had they done by 5 o'clock yesterday? Now let's revise everything what you have already listened to. So, there exist 4 types of sentences. A narrative one, a negative one, general question, and special question. In order to make a narrative sentence, on the first position you have to put noun or pronoun. Then you have to put had. And then you have to put past participle. In order to make a negative sentence, on the first position you have to put noun or pronoun. Then you have to put had. Then you put not, because this is a negative sentence, and on the last position you have to put past participle. In order to make a general question, I remind you a question without a question word. On the first position you have to put had, then you have to put noun or pronoun, and after that you put past participle. If you want to make a special question with a question word, you have on the first position to put your question word. Then you have to put had. After that, you put your noun or pronoun, and on the then you have to put past participle. In order to fix all knowledge that you have just received, I propose you to make this exercise. Your task is to open the brackets using past perfect. I wish you good luck. Goodbye.